Welcome. Just take a second to settle in wherever you are right now. We're stepping into a safe space today, a place for a real energetic recalibration. If you've been carrying a heavy weight lately, you are exactly where you need to be. Let's just dive right into the alchemy of release. There are emotions the body remembers long after the mind tries to forget. It's so true, isn't it? This perfectly captures those invisible weights so many of us are quietly carrying around. You know the feeling? That tightening in your chest from an old, unspoken grief? Or maybe the quiet sting of betrayal and rejection. It's the shame we hide deep down. Or even those old conversations that literally keep replaying in the silence of the night. These are heavy, heavy anchors from chapters of your life that have already closed. The thing is, emotional baggage doesn't always announce itself loudly. It usually disguises itself in our quietest moments. We're talking about overthinking, a constant state of emotional exhaustion, a sudden fear of intimacy, or those quiet little cycles of self-sabotage. Sometimes it's just feeling completely unable to be fully present in a beautiful moment. If you're recognizing any of these symptoms in your own life right now, please know there is absolutely no judgment here. Healing actually begins the very moment you stop identifying with the pain and simply start observing it. So, before we introduce the first of our 5 energetic declarations, let's just prepare the body. Go ahead and take a deep breath. Relax your shoulders. Just let them drop. As we move through these affirmations, I want you to allow the words to move through you slowly. These aren't just your standard positive statements. Think of them as tools for deep subconscious reprogramming. Here is our first affirmation. I lovingly release every emotion that no longer belongs to my future. Just let that sit in your mind for a second. This is all about energetic detachment. See, so many of us unconsciously hold on to emotions that actually belong to much older versions of ourselves, like childhood pain, regrets, or old anger. But the reality is, your future self simply cannot fully arrive while your spirit is still emotionally chained to the past. Healing becomes powerful when it is gentle. Think about the esoteric truth behind that statement. Ancient spiritual traditions have long believed that unresolved emotions from our past create actual density within our aura. They literally make life feel physically heavier, and they make new opportunities feel completely out of reach. So when you release these emotions, you have to do it with compassion. You aren't fighting them. You're just giving your nervous system permission to stop surviving and start evolving. Which brings us to our second energetic declaration. My soul is not defined by what hurt me. This affirmation is just deeply transformative. Why? Because so many of us unconsciously build our entire identity around our wounds. We kind of become the rejection, or we become the heartbreak. But your soul, your eternal, untouched essence, existed long before every disappointment you've ever endured. Remembering this truth helps separate your pure consciousness from your temporary suffering. Notice the shift we're making here. Carrying pain imprisons you. It completely clouds your energy. But observing pain, well, that liberates you. Pain is just an experience. It's not your identity. The very moment you stop introducing yourself to the universe through your wounds, a profound shift happens. Your energy begins attracting entirely different, far healthier experiences. Now I invite you to really embrace this third affirmation. I cleanse my energy of resentment, guilt, and emotional heaviness. Try speaking this to yourself as if you're guiding your own emotional purification ritual. Resentment is actually one of the heaviest frequencies you can possibly carry. And not because it hurts the person who wronged you, but because it quietly poisons your own spirit. Along with guilt, it traps your mind in these endless loops of self-judgment, firmly anchoring your energy right back to the past. Not all emotional baggage disappears through logic. Some of it leaves through surrender. I'd love for you right now to breathe deeply. Just imagine every single exhale physically removing stagnant, heavy emotional energy right out of your body. You don't have to figure it all out today. Sometimes, the absolute most profound thing you can do is simply surrender the weight. Let's consider what survival responses truly are. They're basically protective adaptations by your nervous system designed to keep you safe. It is a biological fact that your nervous system can hijack your brain in a fraction of a second just to protect you from perceived danger. Because of this, a lot of us carry deep, hidden shame for how we reacted during painful times. Maybe you got angry, avoidant, numb, or emotionally distant. I really want you to know that those reactions were not moral failures. They were protective instincts. Your nervous system was just trying to keep you safe in the dark. And this understanding naturally leads us to an affirmation that reaches the deepest parts of the inner self. I forgive myself for surviving the only way I knew how. Let those words gently wash over you. Esoterically speaking, self-forgiveness is the very thing that restores harmony between the mind, the body, and the soul. Without it, we stay energetically fragmented, constantly fighting these older versions of ourselves. You are no longer required to punish yourself for being human. Your past pain is incredibly valid. The ways you survived were completely valid. But the healing truly begins the exact moment your self-condemnation ends. You can finally lay down the sword. Our final affirmation brings us into true embodiment right here in the present moment. I am emotionally free, spiritually light, and open to peace. Feel those words actually entering your body as you hear them. We are moving your frequency right now away from heaviness and into openness. We're choosing freedom and choosing peace, not as some distant goal you have to reach, but as your reality today. There's a beautiful piece of spiritual wisdom we need to remember here. Peace is not something you earn after suffering enough. It is something you allow. So many people postpone their emotional freedom because they falsely believe they have to completely fix themselves first. But you really don't. The soul naturally moves toward expansion the moment you release your burdens. When your inner world becomes lighter, life itself literally begins responding differently to you. To understand how this kind of subconscious reprogramming actually works, consider the journey of just a single thought. It starts with energetic instruction. Every affirmation you repeat plants a new seed. Then, over days and weeks, that instruction becomes a subconscious belief, taking root deep in your mind. Next comes emotion. Your new beliefs genuinely shift how you feel inside. And finally, reality. Refusing to let old pain narrate your future gradually transforms your actual lived reality. So I want to leave you with this gentle question to carry with you today. If you are no longer defined by your emotional heaviness, who will you finally have the space to become? Tonight, take a deep breath. Release gently. Remember, my friend, you were never meant to carry every wound forever. Let this explainer be your invitation to finally let go. I'd love for you to leave your own energetic declaration down in the comments. Just write, I choose peace over emotional heaviness. Thank you so much for sharing this safe space with me.